Hey Moonrays, welcome back to my Sims 4 channel. Today I am super excited to be sharing with you my incredible, I shouldn't say incredible, am I tooting my own horn? Maybe I'm tooting my own horn. I think it's incredible. It's an incredible work for me. It's not like super incredible in general, but for me, I think it's incredible. Does that make sense? Anyway, you guys, this is my cozy autumn bookstore build. Now, you may be wondering why I am making two buildings here. That is because this is going to be a two-part build where next door to the bookstore is going to be a coffee shop. Both of these builds are themed after the fall, autumn, whatever you call it, and I love them. I love them so much. I haven't built anything like this honestly in a long time. I don't think I've ever built a fall themed community lot here on the channel, and maybe I haven't done it ever. I'm not sure. I've done a lot of fall builds in my day, believe you me, but I'm not quite sure if I've done anything like this before. But I really love doing one lot builds like this. One of my favorite builds here on the channel is where I did my little tiny trailer park where there's 6 tiny trailers on a huge gigantic lot, and I made it into a big community. I just think that's super cool. It's really fun to take advantage of all that we have in The Sims 4, and especially now that we have For Rent, where we can actually make apartments and stuff, which, you know, that is relevant. I was gonna say that that's not relevant because this is a coffee shop and a bookstore, but guess what? The coffee shop will end up having an apartment above it. So I'm really excited about that too. But let's focus on the bookstore because that's what this one is all about. It took me a long time to kind of figure out what I wanted the exterior to look like, but once we figured that out, everything came together so ridiculously quick, and I love it to death. The exterior of this place is so comfy cozy, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Basically, I wanted to build something that I would love to have in real life, a little cozy bookstore with a little cozy coffee shop right next to it. And then I've always said that my little dream, this is such a weird thing that I want, but I've always wanted to live above a coffee shop. Maybe a pizza place, maybe a Chinese restaurant. The only thing about a coffee shop is I think a coffee shop would be more quiet. I think a piece of posy hair just flew past my webcam, so I'm sorry if you saw that. Dog owners, I'm sure you feel me on that one. But I feel like a coffee shop has a chance at being a little more quiet, but I just love the idea of how convenient it would be to have a coffee shop right below you, and just the idea of everybody knowing you at that coffee shop. Isn't that super cute? I would love that. It would be so nice to have a cute little apartment above a coffee shop. That's the dream. That's the dream. That's what I want out of life. I don't think that's too much to ask for, do you? But yeah, I just wanted to build a little area that I would love to have in real life. I do utilize platforms quite a bit, so it starts out a little bit wonky, but I figure things out. So basically in each build, they don't have the same layout per se, but in each build, your Sims will kind of have to step down into the building, and then they kind of walk for a little while and then step up. You'll see what I mean here in a little bit. It's kind of hard to explain, but I used a lot of platforms to kind of make this like street area, so that was a little bit tricky. But honestly, I don't use platforms a whole lot because they're a little hard to work with, but I like them a lot. I think it's super cool to make sunken rooms and sunken areas. That's just so real to me. I know a lot of businesses around me actually have that, where you do kind of step down into a sunken area and then you kind of like have different levels of a place, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but if you've seen what I'm talking about, then you might understand what I'm trying to explain here. I am the freaking worst at explaining things, but whatever. I like platforms. That's all I'm trying to say. I think they add character, and I'm all about character in The Sims 4 and in real life, to be honest. I love old buildings that are either used for things like this or just like older homes. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? I don't know if you guys could hear that, but my dog has her collar on and she just scratched at her collar so loud. Posy is not on my lap today. She's down on the floor because it's a little bit warm in here, to be honest, and I hate that. It should be cooler today. We are in September, for goodness sake. But as you can see, I am manifesting good weather because I'm wearing a cardigan anyway. But yeah, I started out having a little bit of trouble with the interiors as far as figuring out what I wanted the colors to be. cozy. I know I wanted cream, light wood, and brown, and so that was a little bit tricky to figure out how to make that look really cute. And I wanted everything to look super warm and cozy on the interior. That was also a little bit tricky because I added in a lot of windows to this store, and the windows made the lighting so good that anytime I tried to add in like some dark, warmer lights, it just was too bright in there, and I wanted it to have this cozy, warm light glow to it. So it took me a little while to figure that out, but once I did, I loved it. We start out using a brown wallpaper. I think we get rid of that, but my favorite thing that I did when it came to this particular build was I loved that I put the bookcases right up behind the window so you could see them in from the outside. Oh my gosh, that was such a cute touch. It like transformed the whole exterior of the build. That was interesting to work with as well because it kind of made the inside look a little bit odd, but I think it worked out in the end. Also, you'll notice that the entire upstairs level you can actually see down into the lower level. I didn't record that because I had such a hard time figuring that out. It was honestly embarrassing. So after a while, I just cut the recording, deleted it, and I was like, you know what? I don't think they'll mind if I just jump ahead. Hopefully you guys don't mind because it was so irritating. It was irritating for me. I'm like, you guys are gonna get like secondhand embarrassment watching this. It was so horrible. But as you can see, it's really coming together now. It has that warm glow to it. It just looks so comfy. I just keep imagining this really romantic scenario where it's beautiful outside, it's really cold, but it starts to rain, and then you need to get shelter while you're out shopping. So you just duck into this adorable, cozy little bookshop, and it's autumn themed, and it just feels like all the vibes are there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll have a meet cute there. It's just that kind of place. Can you tell how proud I am of this build? I love it. I love it. And it's honestly so nice to have my confidence grow as a builder. The funny thing is I always start out hating my builds every single time I start it. When I really get into the beginning of the build, I'm like, this is not going to work. I'm going to have to start over. I'm going to have to delete everything. But once I get past that like initial figuring out the exterior and figuring out the floor plan, when I get into decorating, that is when I'm like, this is good. This is nice. I'm happy with it. But I always want to give up on every single one of my builds. And like in the beginning, I think I'm the world's worst builder. I'm like, this is no good. I got lucky with all my other builds. I have like no faith in myself in the beginning, but it all works out in the end. So that's my advice to any new builders out there. If you really hate what you're working on and you're like tempted to start over, just keep going. Just give it a try, work on it, and just slowly you'll see it come together and you're gonna end up hating it less and less. Trust me. That's honestly helped me grow as a builder. I used to bulldoze everything way too early on, and honestly you can't grow doing that in my opinion. I don't think that I improved my skills by constantly starting over, not even on the exterior, and that was usually the one thing that I would finish. But finishing a build from the beginning to the very end, it's helped me improve so much. So if there are any new builders out there, that is my tip for you. But I absolutely loved going around and using all of these items from Seasons. Honestly, we could really use another holiday themed pack, because even though we have these items from Seasons and they're really good, we could stand to have a lot more. Because after a while, if you're making holiday themed builds and you've done more than like 2, you're gonna find that you've used all of the items and all of the swatches that you wanted for that particular holiday, and that's kind of a bummer. So Sims team, hi, if you're watching this, you're probably not. I've been bugging you on Twitter and I don't think anybody knows that I'm alive. But for the off chance that you are watching this, hi, I have another request. I feel like I always have a request in each one of my videos, but please make some more holiday themed items, specifically fall themed items and Halloween themed items. That would be really spectacular and I would love you forever. Please and thank you. But I knew from the very beginning that I wanted this place to have a second level, because I think it's really charming when a bookstore has a second level that's more for like lounging. So you get all of your books downstairs, and maybe there are a couple more spaces to pick up some more books, but for the most part, it's just a place that you can go and just read what you picked up. I think that's so sweet. I always remember Borders. Borders was a bookstore when I was a kid, and they went out of business. I want to say like 10 years ago. I don't know if I'm right about that, but they had a Starbucks in there. And so when they had the Starbucks, there was just this whole big area that you could just sit and read a book, and it was so cozy. And they had these huge windows that you could look out, and I remember how pretty it was when it would rain. I loved it. I loved it, and I was too little at the time to enjoy Starbucks. I mean, kids, there's things that kids can get at Starbucks, but at the time, I'm old, so at the time I didn't know that. So unfortunately, I didn't get to experience that. So Borders was kind of a little bit of inspiration. They didn't have a second level like this, but they did have like a loungy area. So that was something I wanted to incorporate. I got to use these adorable curtains. I want to say that they're from Dream Home Decorator. They are a swatch that you don't expect to be included with the other swatches, but they're so cute, and I use them a lot for holiday themed builds. I want them in real life. The only thing about having like fall themed curtains is that would be really a big pain to take those curtains down every single time that the season has passed. I don't know if that's just me. I'm just like, as cool as it would be to swap out curtains based on the seasons, I think that's too much work for me IRL. I don't know what you guys think, but that's just my opinion. But I also wanted to use these bookshelves from the Book Nook kit, and then I took these pillows and I placed them on the Book Nook kit bookshelves to make it look like there's actually another seating spot. So it doesn't work, it's not functional, but it looks like a sim could sit there if they wanted to. But the build is pretty much coming together now. I really liked it. I ended up using a couple of items from the Werewolves kit as well, which I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised at how well that fit a cozy, like kind of harvest theme that I was going for, but it worked because they had these really cute patches on the lamp and the couch that I used. It really turned out super cute, and the colors worked as well, so that was nice. I felt like I really had some fresh items to use for this particular theme. But I was wondering, you guys, I am terrible at coming up with names for my builds. So in your opinion, what would this bookstore be called? I was kind of thinking Harvest Books, but I don't know if that was stupid or not. But definitely let me know what you think should be called down in the comments below. I haven't put it up on the gallery yet, so as soon as I get some feedback, I will name it and I will put it up there for all of you guys to download if you want it. But we're just going around and doing some finishing touches. Of course, we added a bathroom, which was not totally miserable to make. For whatever reason, I think I enjoy making public bathrooms more than I do regular bathrooms, and I don't know if that's because I don't like adding tubs or showers. If you're new around here, basically there's this whole running joke on my channel that Ray hates to build bathrooms, and it's very true. I find building bathrooms to be absolutely miserable, but apparently public bathrooms is a different story. I don't know. I make no sense. But I'm really looking forward to showing you guys the coffee shop and the apartment above it. I'm actually not finished the apartment yet. I need to get to that right away after filming this, because I'm trying to put out as many fall or spooky themed builds as possible for the month of September and October. The last build that I did was a spooky farmhouse, which I had a lot of fun putting together, and hopefully you guys will watch that one because I put a lot of time and effort into that yard. I put together a stone path with debug rocks, and it literally took me like 2 hours to do. So if you guys want to go watch that to support my struggle, I'd be super grateful for you all. But of course, no matter what you do, I'm grateful for you all anyway. Seriously, that's a pretty good segue to just say how grateful I am for all of you guys. My life has seriously changed for the better this year. I know I'm a small little tiny YouTuber and small little tiny streamer, but the people who have continued to come back to my channel to leave me really sweet comments, the people who interact in the Discord, the people who chat on Twitch, all of you have seriously changed my life and made it honestly worth living. So thank you so much for all of that. I've always wanted to be a full-time content creator. I love making YouTube videos and interacting with other people. So every time that you guys attend a live stream or watch one of these videos and comment and leave likes, that helps me get one step closer to achieving my dream. And you guys are just super nice. But in all honesty, you guys are what makes this dream even worth having. I want to do this because I love interacting with you guys. Yeah, it's fun to to build in The Sims, but it's not at all the same without all of you. I'm sorry, I'm a super sappy and emotional person, okay? I apologize, but I just want you guys to know how loved you are by me. But we are finishing up the build now, you guys, and coming up on the screenshots, so I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and I hope you're looking forward to the next part, where we work on the cozy little coffee shop and the apartment. I'm still not sure if I want to put that in one video or two. Honestly, it really just depends on how long the coffee shop portion ends up being, because I don't want you guys to have to sit here for like an hour or something like that. But either way, those videos should be out soon. But thank you guys so much for watching as always. If you haven't already, please be sure to like this video. It really supports me as a creator. And if you're new around here, subscribe to become a Moon Ray. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.